what sets your software apart?
Well, our software is so different because it's a full solution for a mid-sized company. Mid-sized companies have very small HR departments, but they have the same problems as a big enterprise. They have to manage their workforce, they have to drive employee engagement, they have to understand data and insights, and Namely puts that all together in a one-stop shop in a really easy package for them to understand and use. At the same time, we provide a really engaging platform directly for the employees.
So are you competing with folks like Zenefits, Gusto, Workday, or are you competing with old school HR?
Yeah, those companies do similar things, but target on different customers. We're really targeted on that mid-sized company, about 100 to 1,000 employees, who are trying to manage that full suite. So usually it's a competitive situation of they haven't really adopted tech yet, and they have this opportunity to now modernize the workforce.
Now, you know, what's interesting about HR is that you are at a sort of critical entry point where employees are coming into the organization. You're also managing employees throughout the organization. And as we talk about issues of sort of bias in the corporate world, in general, HR can play a critical role, as well as technology that HR representatives use. Is that something that you're thinking about?
Yeah, it's actually one of our newest and most popular products with our customer, where we provide data and insights to help them understand their workforce and benchmark that against all of our other clients so that they understand, how are we faring? How are we faring on pay equity? How are we faring on diversity? How are we doing in promotional opportunities for our people? And they can look at that in the context of Namely data and give themselves a scorecard.
Talk to us about some of the biggest hurdles when it comes to modernizing HR and, you know, creating an HR workforce for sort of the modern world.
Well, typically HR has been in a function that hasn't been able to be measured very well.
And often it's not prioritized.
And true in mid-sized companies. They usually have a department of one, maybe two if they're lucky. But like I said, they have the same problems as a big enterprise. They're trying to manage a workforce, drive engagement, retain their talent, attract talent. So having a solution that combines technology and the human beings of talent is really, really important for their success.
So I have to ask, you stepped into this role a few months ago. You'd just done a massive funding round. The CEO was apparently pushed out after an investigation that showed actions inconsistent with what is expected of Namely leadership. What can you tell us about what happened there?
Well, Namely is a very strong cultural value system, and when we have any employee that has behavior that doesn't align with that, they don't really have a place at the company. And unfortunately, that happened with our CEO, and I was on the board at the time and stepped in, fell in love with the company, the product, and our customers, and I'm happy to say that I'm there now as the CEO.